Hi, I'm Quenoth, and today I wanted to talk about faction design. Recently, I do quite a bit of designing/redesigning. I recently finished Quenoth Elves for Ultimate Recruits, so this is nothing official, but I figured that it would be cool to talk about and break it down a bit. So let's get right into it. And I will start with a question: why was I even reworking them? And the answer is very simple. I really hate formation ability. In my opinion, this ability is broken on multiple levels. It is a very strong ability that basically nullifies mechanic of terrain, because you can simply put more units next to each other. It forces you to get mostly only the units that have this ability, otherwise you won't be benefiting from it as much, and the more units with it you have, the better it becomes. In my opinion, this ability is not at all fitting for the graphical design of the faction and their circumstances. How come professional armies don't have it and troops of some village do? And because of all of that, I really wanted to replace this ability with something better. But as I continued to think about that, more and more paths for the whole Quenoth actually appeared. So let's talk about the creative process and how I approached that. The first thing I did was looking at all of the Quenoth units and deciding what is really original about them. But what I got from that was a bunch of keywords and not really a theme. But at the same time, there was one unit that was really standing out amongst them: Quenoth Scout. The ability of this unit, while inconspicuous, especially in the campaign environment, is actually very creative and can be very dangerous. For example, if you attack a unit on a village on turn 1, then on turn 2 you can attack again, move Quenoth Scout back and attack with different unit, kill the unit on the village and capture the village with Quenoth Scout. And this exact ability inspired the theme of my Quenoth redesign: combat agility. And with all that established, after some time I came up with ability for Quenoth Fighter. Instead of having just one attack per turn, they can attack multiple times with weaker attack or once with stronger attack. This allows them to have great flexibility, but also has a big drawback. On one hand, you can mostly avoid overkill and you can kill multiple units in one turn if fighter is positioned correctly, and thanks to that, you can level him up way quicker, but also each attack is facing its own retaliation from enemy unit, so you have to be careful when using it. This is how redesign of Quenoth Fighter was finished. The unit went from a swarm unit that forced you to recruit mostly just it in order to sustain formation into standalone unit that is creating many new interactions and decisions that you have to make during the game. Fighter level ups also benefited from that, especially flanker route, that now is really unqui with the ability to inflict multiple poisons in one turn. But the rework was not done yet. While Tauroch Rider was also a candidate for some new ability, in the end they are cool enough on their own and fit the faction in defensive and offensive department pretty well. Instead, Quenoth Mystic got into my sights. While not necessarily bad unit in itself, it showed some flaws. For example, her attack with Daze was just called Sand, but in my opinion, the name was not really fitting anything particularly well, so I decided to change it into Sandstorm. And then, just looking at the keywords and the theme, the ability came to me pretty naturally. Since she was no manipulating winged, why not give her ability that will support whole Quenoth army well in any situation, and at the same time will still require at least some basic positioning. This is how Tailwind was born. The ability provides every unit that stands next to Mystic at the beginning of their turn +1 movement. As the price for such powerful ability, Mystic had to pay with healing and a bit more gold, but the opportunities that it provides speak for itself. With this ability, Mystic in my opinion fits much better in hot desert environment, but also adds to the agility of Quenoth. This pretty much concludes the redesign of Quenoth, but not their future. Quenoth are very much incomplete faction, and a lot has to be done as well as can be done to make them into even more prominent faction. Surely new flying unit is needed as well as level 1 unit that can use fire attacks. Existing units also can use some developments, like getting new level ups. Mystic line with focus on wind and scout with advancement that has skirmisher both make a lot of sense. But in the end, how would you actually try to develop them? With this question, I will be ending this video, and if you liked it, you can subscribe. It will certainly make my day better. Cheers!